Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So I had a little bit of technical difficulties, so I won't be able to come on screen today, but you at least get to see the projects. So that's a good thing. So good morning. So today what I want to do is just share some alternate card ideas that you can put together using this month's paper pumpkin kit. So the paper pumpkin kit is called Pick of the Crop, and it has enough supplies in it for you to create 9 different cards. So 3 of each of these 3 different designs. So I actually took some of the supplies from the kit and decided to create some additional cards because I love to just kind of play around with the kit and do different things with it. But I also like to create the projects that come in the kit. So I'm going to share some of these projects with you today. And I'll show you how to make these cards. And you can use, even if you don't have the paper pumpkin kit, you can still use these designs with some of the supplies that you already have on hand. So don't worry if you don't have the paper pumpkin kit. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So these are the cards I'm going to show you how to create. So I used a lot of the different elements that came in this kit. Um, and then I put together my own little layouts and of course added my own little supplies. So I will show you how to make some of these. And first I'm going to show you, let me bring back those cards. So these are the cards that were in the kit. So like I said, there were 3 different designs and we made 3 of each of these 3 different designs. So one of the things I want to point out right away about the kit is that there was this element in the kit that actually fit directly over the design that's on the card base. So this is the actual card base. So I decided to save these and not put them on the card base because, well, you already have that design on there. So I just added a little sentiment on my kit cards and I saved these so that I could create some additional cards. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So just so in case you're wondering where that came from. Now there's also, let me just grab these here. Of course, there's also some coordinating envelopes. This time I didn't take the envelopes apart. I left them as is. So those are the envelopes. And then there was also this cute little tote bag. Now I didn't decorate this, mainly because I was busy making cards, but I will decorate this and get that up on my blog. So let me start out. I'm going to start out with this card. Oh, and I should tell you that the cards actually feature this little basket from the Cheerful Basket bundle. So there's a stamp that you can stamp the basket, and then there's a coordinating die in this particular bundle that you can use to cut out the basket. And then there's also this little piece here that I die cut using that Cheerful Basket bundle. Okay, so this is the first card that I put together, and these are very simple designs. Like I said, you can really use these designs with any supplies that you have on hand. So I used the little blueberries from the kit. So these are the little blueberries here. And so basically what I did is I just cut around um, very carefully, cut around the strawberries and blueberries. So I'm just going to come up through here. And I just kind of created 2 different elements. So one of these elements I will be using on the strawberry card, which I'll show you next. And then the other one, of course, I'll use on the blueberries. So that's how I just cut apart that little element here. And then this one, I just kind of trim this down a little bit. I mean, some of this will get covered up in the basket, but you just kind of trim it down. And I cut off a lot of this white too. So in my kit, there happened to be quite a few of these little elements. So you can make quite a few cards. I think I made a total of, well, once I make the ones I'm showing you right now, I think I have a total of 24 cards that I made from this kit. So, all right, so that's how I cut that down. So now I have two separate elements that I can use on two different cards. So, all right, so let's do this first. So I started my projects with I'm using white cardstock, I think, for most of the cards. So it's just your standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4.25. That's how I created the base of the card. And then I created just a embossed piece of cardstock. So this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I just embossed it with that time worn embossing folder. You can use any embossing folder that you want to create this. So I'm just going to add this to my card front. Never can seem to get my glue to work. So we'll add this. And so the nice thing about the paper pumpkin kit is in the instructions, it tells you what colors coordinate with the items in the kit. So this is Night of Navy that I'm using. And the kit came with a little Calypso coral Stampin' Spot. So I am using some Calypso coral designer paper. And so this is just a 2 by 4.25 inch piece. And this is just going to go right across the center. So we'll add that. And then I just have a circle shape. And this is almost a 3-inch circle shape. And so what I did with this is I'm going to just stamp one of the little greetings or sentiments from the paper pumpkin kit. So these are all the stamps. Here, let me show you. These are all the stamps that came with the kit. So I'm just going to use one of these little greetings from here and just stamp that on my little circle shape. And this time I'm using some of my own ink, so I tend to do that a lot. So if you're wondering where I got all these supplies, some of these supplies are my own, and some of the little elements came from the kit. So we'll stamp the "You Are the Sweetest" up on the circle. And that's in Night of Navy. All right, so let's bring our card back. And then I just adhered this right to my card front. So kind of adhere it off to the side a little bit. And then I already have pre-cut these little baskets, but I basically just stamped that basket image using crumb cake cardstock and crumb cake ink. So it's kind of a more subtle look. You can use a darker brown ink, if you want it more bold, but I just kind of created just a little subtle look for my basket. And then you take those blueberries and you just kind of adjust them in your basket how you want them. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down here. And we'll add those to our basket. So as soon as I saw this Buns kit, I just kind of thought, oh, that would be really cool with the Cheerful Basket bundle. And so that's how these projects were born. So we'll add some dimensionals here. I'm going to use up all my end pieces. We'll add one more. So it's really, I just thought it was kind of a really cute way to use these little elements from the kit. Plus, then you don't have to stamp and color in all the blueberries because they're already colored for you. So you can just add that. And then I just die cut this piece. There's a cute little die cut that you can use. I just die cut that piece. For this one, I popped it up with some dimensionals, but I'm going to adhere this down using some glue. So it just kind of, gives the impression of like a little napkin or something inside hanging over your basket. And then that's really it. And then you can, add whatever else you want. For mine, I just added some twine. And then I'm using up some of my embellishments. I had some blue rhinestones that I was using. So that's all I did for that card. So it's pretty simple. I won't go through tying the twine because that takes a little bit longer on video. So I'll spare you that. So here's the second card that I created. So this time I used those strawberries. When we cut apart the blueberries and the strawberries, it left this little piece. So I'm going to show you how to put this together. So I again have just a white piece of cardstock for the base of my card. And then this time I used some Garden Green Designer Series paper. So there's Designer Series paper that Stampin' Up! Has in different packs based on color collections. So like you have the subtles and the regals, neutrals and brights. So I just pulled out one of the Designer Series papers from, I don't know which pack this is from. I should know, but I don't. So this is just a 2x4 1/4 inch piece. And I'm just going to adhere it kind of towards the left side of the card front. And then I just have a little scrap piece. So from creating that other card, let me just bring back that other card. So from creating this card, this was a 2x4 1/4 inch piece. I had this little leftover scrap because the designer paper is 6x6. So this is just a 1 3/4 by 2 inch piece. So I decided to just use up my scraps right away and throw this on this card so that I could add a little bit of Calypso Coral designer paper to the card. So that's really the designer paper design, I guess, of the card. And then what I did, let's see. This is a 2x4 inch piece of vellum. So I like to use vellum just to kind of add, like another layer to the card and add a little more depth and dimension. And I like to scoop my vellum around a little bit to spread out that glue. So we'll just add that. And then we'll take our basket again with the strawberries this time. And let's see, we might have to cut off some of the strawberries. No, maybe not. There we go. So we'll add a little bit of glue here. And then we'll add our strawberries. And then we'll add some dimensionals to the back. So you can see these are, like I said, pretty simple card ideas, pretty easy layouts. And again, you can use these layouts with any, supplies that you have on hand. All you have to do is change out the focal points. So, if you have the cheerful basket, this is a great layout to use with the cheerful basket. If you don't have the cheerful basket bundle, then just come up with a different focal point right here for your card. So that's the fun thing about just kind of playing around with the layouts, is there's lots of things that you can do. All right, let's add our strawberries right over here. And so notice how I add them to the card kind of right over where I put the glue and to kind of cover up that where that designer paper ends. And then this little element came from the kit. So I just stamped this on a little element that I created with one of my die. I can't think, one of my die sets. So this is just with the Stylish Shapes dies. So I'm just going to add this right off the edge here. And then you can, of course, add twine and any kind of rhinestones or things that you want to add. So again, another pretty simple card idea. And it's just really adorable. Just a fun way to use the products from the kit. And then, of course, I had to create some cards with that little floral spray that came in the kit. So let me find, what did I do with those cards? Here it is. So the kit card kind of looks like this, and you had one of the florals in there along with all these other pieces. So I had some extra florals in my kit, and so I decided to use them just to create a card on its own. So it's kind of a monochromatic style because it's using all Blackberry Bliss um, pattern papers and colors. So let me show you how I did this. So again, this is just the white cardstock for the base of the card. And what I did to create this design is I basically just took a 2 by 4 inch piece of designer paper and I cut it diagonally to create these two pieces. And then you adhere one to the top and then you adhere one to the bottom. So I'm going to do that. And how you cut your angle will, so you can see they're kind of going the opposite direction. This one's going the opposite direction from that. So that's because of the way I cut the angle. It doesn't matter which way you cut the angle. You'll still get your angled pieces for your card, but if you want them to go a certain direction, you'll have to pay attention to that. So I'm just adhering one to the top, one to the bottom, and it gives you a nice little focal point for the center. Kind of opens that up for lots of possibilities. You could stamp in the center there, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to add, again, a piece of vellum. And the vellum just kind of mutes out the background a little bit and gives it a little bit of layering. So I add a piece of vellum, and then right over the top of the vellum, I'm going to add that little spray of flowers. So it makes a nice little focal point. And then I used my Stylish Shapes dies. And I actually this time used one of the greetings from the Cheerful Basket stamp set. And then I stamped it on, you know, a little stitched, one of those Stylish Shapes, little stitched shape. And then the last thing you can do is just tie a little bow. So I'm just going to smooth out my linen thread here and create a little bow. And then I like to adhere my bows with a, with a glue dot. So that'll go right there. Let's trim that down a little bit. There we go. And then I'll take a little glue dot and just kind of roll it off the little spool there and stick it right on my project. And then I put the knot of the bow right on that little glue dot. And that's how I hold it in place. And then you can add some rhinestones or whatever you want to decorate it. So it's a simple little card. And it's just really a fun design, that little angled design. So let's move that out. And then this last one, where did it go? I had it sitting out. See, now I got all these cards here and I can't find my last one. Oh, there it is. Here it is. So this one, I kind of stepped it up a little bit and added a lot of different layers on this card, but it's a fun little design and it's still that monochromatic. So it's just the white and Blackberry Bliss. So this time I used Blackberry Bliss cardstock for the base of the card. And then I just embossed a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece of white cardstock. I used that brick and mortar embossing folder. So we'll start with that. And we will adhere this right to the card front. So this white with this blackberry bliss just really looks so pretty. And then of course I used the Blackberry Bliss designer series paper. So this is just a 2 by 3 3/4 inch piece that I'm putting right across the center. And then, whoops, then I have, let's see, what size is this? This is 2 by 4 1/4. So a 2 by 4 1/4 inch piece of vellum. So you can see how I'm kind of using quite a bit of vellum with these cards today, but I just think it adds a lot to the card, to have that little vellum there. Just kind of breaks up the white a little bit. So now I just die cut a piece. This is from the deckled rectangles. So I just die cut this piece, and I'm going to add this to the card front. I'm just going to pop it up. So it's good to use the vellum, especially if you're using just like two colors, like I am here, using the blackberry and the white, because the vellum just kind of breaks up that color a little bit. And of course, you get some nice layering with this. And of course, I'm using my little florals from the kit. So again, if you don't have the kit, you can easily create a focal point right here on this die cut piece. So you don't necessarily have to have the kit. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just add my little greeting here off to the side. So lots of different layers on this card, but it just gives it, just a really pretty look. And then you can just add your little twine or whatever you want to add. And I added a few rhinestones on here. So I think this one's my favorite out of all of them so far. Okay, so let me bring these back so I can show you. So these are the two Blackberry Bliss ones. So those are the Blackberry Bliss. And then we have our little strawberries and our little blueberries. So just some fun little alternate ideas for you. And then I also created some additional cards. So there were little strawberry and blueberry elements in the card like this. So what I did is I just cut these apart here, right between the blueberry and the strawberry. And then I just tucked them into the basket along with some of the bread and some other things that were in the kit, just to create another fun design. So this is very similar to this design, which is why I say you can use any focal point you want to create that design. So, or with that design. So that one looks just like that one. And then this one, I just took some 2 by 2 inch pieces of designer paper and just cut them in half diagonally and use them in the four corners of the card just to create this fun little design. And again, I just used that same basket idea and tucked that strawberry and that blueberry in there as well. All right, you guys. So those are the cards that I have for you today. There's 6 different designs, well, 5 different designs. And just some fun ways that you can use the kit. So if you, like I said, if you didn't get the kit, that's okay. You can still use these designs with any supplies that you have on hand. So I hope you enjoyed all the card ideas, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and a great week. And I will see you guys, hopefully be able to see you guys next week. So have a great week, everybody. Enjoy your day.